Imagine waking up every morning and the data you actually need, competitor prices, product availability, market signals, all are already waiting for you. No terminal, no scraper to babysit and update, no cron job you forgot to fix. Just data, delivered on its own, in the chat app you already open with your coffee. Hi, I'm Manfetus from Oxylabs, and in this video, we'll build exactly that. An always-on AI agent, running on its own server that scrapes what you tell it to, saves the working approach as a reusable skill, and delivers the results straight to Slack on a schedule. By the end, you'll have a working agent you can talk to, and a scraping job that runs itself every Monday morning. Hermes Agent is an open-source AI agent framework from Nous Research, released earlier this year. It runs as a command line tool, connects to any large language model through its own API, and ships with built-in tools for terminal access, file operations, web search, and persistent memory. 3 things set it apart from a chatbot wrapper. First, persistent memory. It remembers what you told it across sessions, not just within one conversation. Second, a self-improving skills loop. When it figures out how to do something well, it saves that recipe as a reusable skill and can rerun it with a single command later. And third, multi-surface reach with scheduling. It can be accessed in Slack, Telegram, or email and run jobs on a cadence you set. Those skills follow an open standard called skill.md, and there's a community library at agentskills.io where people publish theirs. The skills loop is what turns Hermes from a smart chatbot into an actual agent that gets better at your specific work over time. To show you a concrete example, today we'll ask Hermes to scrape a set of product pages. Once it works, we save that approach as a skill. Then we schedule it to run every Monday at 9 a.m. and drop the results into Slack. That's all 3 features working together. Memory holds the context, the skill is the reusable recipe, and the schedule plus Slack is the delivery. Before we install anything, one question that always comes up: why not just run Hermes on my laptop? 2 reasons. If your laptop goes to sleep, so does the agent. And a scheduled job at 9 a.m. does you no good if the machine is off. That's the availability problem. The bigger reason is security. Hermes has terminal access as a built-in tool. It can run commands, browse the web, and act on its own. You don't want that sitting on the same machine as your personal files, your password manager, and your logged-in browser sessions. A malicious page could try prompt injection, and if the blast radius is your main machine, that's a bad day. AVPS solves both. It's an isolated server, always on, with its own IP address. That's also useful for scraping because your home IP isn't the one hitting the target sites. Think of it as the agent's own workstation, sandboxed, disposable, and reachable only through the channels you set up. This is the step people skip and regret. Don't be that person. Let's set one up. Head to Hostinger and pick the KVM2 plan, 2 cores and 8 gigs of RAM. A browser-driven scraping agent is memory hungry, and the cheapest tier chokes the moment Hermes spins up a headless browser. This tier gives us headroom without overpaying. The tracked link is in the description if you want to follow along on the same setup. Let's set up our VPS now. Let's keep the location as it is and click Next. On the operating system screen, let's select Ubuntu. Then we will generate a root password to finish up the VPS setup. We're going to install Hermes ourselves so you see exactly what's happening. Hostinger provides the server, hands us an IP address and a root password, and that's our starting point. Now that our VPS has been set up, it's time to connect and prepare the server. Open a terminal and SSH into the server as root, using the IP and the password from the deploy screen. First thing on any fresh project, update the package index and upgrade what's installed. This takes a minute, and it's the one step that saves you from cryptic dependency errors later. Running Hermes as root is a bad idea since it has terminal access, so we create a dedicated user with the user mod ayg sudo hermes command to add it to the sudo group and prepare to switch over. Before we drop into the Hermes user, we carry the SSH key over so we can keep logging in without a password prompt, then su-hermes to switch. On screen, you can see the prompt change from root at SRV to Hermes at SRV. That's the confirmation the switch worked. From here on, everything happens as this user. From the documentation site of Nous Research, we can find this official one-line installer. Let's copy it. Then we paste the curl command here, and then pick the manual setup option so we see every step, and let it run. What's happening here is, the setup command provisions Python, fetches dependencies, and creates the Hermes command on the box. When install finishes, Hermes hands us 3 setup options: quick setup, full setup, and blank slate. We pick full setup so we can see every provider, tool, and gateway choice as it's made. First choice, the provider. We pick Anthropic. That's the Claude model. It handles the multi-step tool calling Hermes, leans on when it chains browser, terminal, and file operations together. For the auth method, we pick the second option, provide API key, and paste the Anthropic key when prompted. On screen, the key is redacted. Next comes the model choice. We select Claude Opus 4.6, the current top of the Claude lineup, and the right fit for this agent's reasoning load. The wizard then asks about the terminal backend. We keep the current local option since Hermes will run all its shell commands right on this VPS. Next up, the messaging platforms. Hermes offers Slack, Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, Signal, and email as gateways. We take a quick look at Slack in the list, but don't mark it here, as we'll wire Slack up properly in the next section using the dedicated gateway command, so we press enter to move on without configuring anything now. The remaining wizard steps, a space selection, and alternate provider, aren't needed for this build. We skip both, or keep the defaults, and the wizard finishes writing the config file. One last step. We write the source bashrc so the new Hermes command lands on the path, then run the Hermes version command to confirm the install succeeded and the CLI is wired up. Now we launch the agent by typing Hermes. The interactive chat window opens. That's where we talk to the agent from the terminal. The header confirms Claude is the active model. Let's type a quick hello and see if it round trips through Anthropic and comes back with a response. It does. Press Ctrl+C# to exit the chat when we're ready to move on. A terminal-only agent is fine for testing, but the whole point is to reach it from anywhere. Hermes has a gateway that plugs into Slack, Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, Signal, or email. We're picking Slack because it's the cleanest fit for a business audience, but Telegram and email follow the same shape. Instead of clicking through 20 scopes and events one at a time, Hermes ships a shortcut. Running Hermes Slack manifest right on the VPS generates a JSON file. That's the full blueprint of the Slack app. Every scope, every event, every / command, plus socket mode, all declared at once. The command prints the exact next step for us. We run a cat command on the generated JSON path to see the blueprint, then copy the JSON to the clipboard for the next step. Let's open the link api.slack.com/apps, and here we click Create New App. Select the From an App manifest option, pick the workspace, and paste the JSON we copied earlier. Slack shows the scopes, events, and / commands the manifest declared, all pre-filled. We hit Create and the app is built in one step. The manifest already turned socket mode on and declared every event subscription the app needs, so those tabs are pre-filled for us. Tokens, though, can't live inside a manifest, so we still need to generate 2 of them by hand. First, the app level token, that's the credential that authorizes the WebSocket connection. Under basic information, app level tokens, we generate one with the connections, right scope. It starts with xapp- and we copy it into a safe place. Then we head to Install App, click Install to Workspace, review the permissions Slack lists, and click Allow so Hermes gets the OK to connect to this workspace. Slack hands us back the bot user OAuth token, starting with XOXB-, and we copy that one too. Treat them like production secrets. Back on the VPS, we run Hermes Gateway Setup, pick Slack, and paste both tokens when prompted. Then, the wizard asks for the allowed users. This is an important part, because without your Slack member ID on the allowed list, the bot ignores every message you send. Grab your member ID from your Slack profile. 3 dots menu, copy member ID, and paste it in. Home channel we leave on the default. Last step, the wizard offers to install the gateway as a system service so it keeps running after we log out. We say yes. The wizard's service install has a known hiccup on the current build, but running Hermes Gateway install manually right after finishes the job. A quick Hermes Gateway status confirms the service is running. Let's try to DM the bot from Slack. If everything's wired right, it replies. Connection proven, not just claimed. Now the real job. In the Hermes chat window, we ask Hermes in plain English to scrape a page. Product name, price, availability from a URL. No custom code or configuration, just the request. With only the default tools, Hermes fires up a browser, hits the target, and lands on a failed response. Depending on the site, that could be a CAPTCHA challenge, a rate limit message, or a page that loads without price and availability because those fields are rendered by JavaScript that never got a chance to run. This is where DIY scraping fails. Server-side defense systems, JavaScript-heavy pages, and IP reputation aren't problems you solve with a smarter prompt. They're infrastructure problems, and they need an infrastructure fix. The fix is the Oxylabs Web Scraper API. Head to the Oxylabs product page in your browser, create an account if you don't have one yet. Then, grab your Web Scraper API credentials from the dashboard. This is the layer that handles CAPTCHAs, JavaScript rendering, and proxy rotation for you, so Hermes can stop fighting the target and just parse the response. In the Oxylabs dashboard, we grab our username and password and drop them into the Hermes environment file as oxylabs_username and oxylabs_password. Then restart the gateway so the new vars pick up. Back in the Hermes CLI on the VPS, we paste the same scrape task, but this time telling the agent to use curl against the Oxylabs Web Scraper API, specifically the Amazon product source, with the ASIN and auto parse turned on. Hermes fires curl through its built-in terminal tool, and the response comes back with product name, price, and availability all parsed, even the stock status, from the same page that failed before. The same prompt works from Slack. Nothing changes at the tool layer. The agent picks up the same env vars, runs the same curl, returns the same clean data. The fix isn't tied to the CLI. It lives on the agent. The working approach, the Oxylabs fetch plus the parsing prompt, is worth saving. We tell Hermes to save it as a reusable skill. Behind the scenes, it writes a skill.md file into its own skills folder, organized by category, that captures the recipe, the tools it used, the prompt shape, and the expected output format. That's the self-improving loop from section 2 in action. The skill it just banked is the Oxylabs fetch approach. Next time we ask for a similar scrape, Hermes can call the skill by name instead of rediscovering the fix. And if you want to share it or grab someone else's, there's a community library at agentskills.io that follows the same standard. Now we schedule it. In plain English, run this skill every Monday at 9 a.m. Hermes shows the confirmation, job name, cadence, skill, delivery channel, next run. Then, over in the terminal, we open the skill folder and cat the skill.md so you can see exactly what got saved. The recipe the agent will reach for every Monday morning. Remember the intro? Fresh data waiting for you every morning. This is the mechanism that delivers it, automatically, every Monday morning. One quick tease before we wrap the build. Hermes can spawn sub-agents, so if you want to scrape 20 sites in parallel instead of one, the same skill just runs across a pool. That's a follow-up video's worth of material, but it's already in the box. A few honest reminders before you point this at anything important. Hermes is powerful because it acts on its own. It holds your API keys, your bot tokens, and your messaging access, and it runs commands without asking for confirmation every step. That's the feature, and it also could be the risk. Keep private information in the configuration or environment, not in chat prompts the agent might log. And don't point the agent at accounts with sensitive personal or financial data until you trust the setup. This is also why we sandboxed on a VPS. If something goes wrong or a page tries prompt injection, the blast radius stays contained on the server, not your machine. The rule of thumb here is to treat the agent like a new contractor with keys to the building. Give it only the access the job needs and nothing you'd regret if it leaked. Now here are some legal and ethical things to consider before starting your scraping project. Always check the target site's terms of service. Some prohibit scraping entirely. Respect robots.txt. Stick to public data and be aware of regulations even when the data is publicly visible. Keep a delay between requests and respect rate limits. Don't hammer a server, scrape at the volume a normal user would. And cache what you already fetched instead of re-scraping the same pages every day. Let's do a quick recap. We set up a VPS, installed Hermes with the official installer, wired up Claude as the brain, connected Slack, watched a raw scrape fail, dropped in the Oxylabs Web Scraper API to fix it, saved the working approach as a reusable skill, and scheduled it to deliver every Monday. That's an AI agent that gets better at your specific work over time. To go further, check out Oxylabs Web Scraper API and the rest of the Oxylabs ecosystem, both linked in the description. If you have any questions, email us on support@oxylabs.io. oxylabs.io or use the live chat on our homepage. If this video helped, like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time.